I am live from, I'm going to scoot over a bit so I'm in the camera because after I start working on the jacket, I'm going to disappear a little. But I am working on the jacket and the My Hero Academia jacket. This is the hat that I'm using as my reference point, and so I'll be referring back to it. But I am, let me open up my phone so I can see the chat. Um, it's kind of different working from my studio. Let's see. Let me go into my chat. I'm a newbie at all of this, so you guys bear with me. Hello there, Reaper. How are you? We have had a busy week. Hey, Shadowhawk. We are live in the studio. And we had a show this weekend, a women's event, and we're trying to decompress with that. Aw, hi Nyla, how are you? So let me see. Okay, I have been working on this anime jacket for my niece, and again, this is what he's supposed to look like. It's coming out good. There are some things that I need to change. Tell me what you think of the color, the green, compared to that. Do I need to lighten it just a hair, or is that coming out good in your opinion? So I'm using chalk because my marking pen, this is a water soluble marking pen, and I have it on my dress form. Usually when I'm working at home, I'm working on the flat, but I figured I would work on like this I need to put something in him. I don't know what happened to my color copy. I think the color looks great. Okay, great. So what I'm trying to do, you can see some red marks. That's actually something that I never do, but nothing was showing up. And so I used a red permanent marker on this, a fine tip permanent marker, because the markers just are not really showing up. The blue shows up a little, but I'm trying to correct some of my outlines so that I get my proportions correct. Like his scarf is not that wide, so the scarf needs to be, or it looks like a scarf. At least that's what what it looks like it is. So I'm trying to clean up some of, and I don't know why am I using this purple, because it's going to disappear in 24 hours. But hopefully I'll get to paint a little tonight. Hi, Auntie Reaper. Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. Use Fusion 3004. Oh, okay. Some that you're talking to someone else. Okay. Hello, friend. Okay, so this part is going, it is his shoulder. That's what's happening here. That's what's happening. That was part of his shoulder. Hopefully this is not going to disappear. Be able to get back to it before it disappears. So I was telling you about a show we did this weekend, and it was very successful. I met several other vendors that loved our product, and we sold. If any of you were with us in the upcycle of our accessory, I called it a belt, but I need to call it something else because people are having a hard time conceptualizing it as a belt, but it is an accessory. And I think I'm using blackboard chalk. If all else fails, use blackboard chalk. So let's see. And that will stay, but it's just not that sharp. That's why I'm trying to use the marker so that I could get some of the proportion correct, so that I can finish painting him. Because once you start painting and things aren't exactly like you want them, it's kind of hard to fix. I wish this, if anybody knows of this is coming out great, thank you. If anybody knows of some other marking pen that I could use, that would be great, because this, normally on fabric, this works really, really well, but this one is, I'm just afraid it's gonna disappear because this is a marking pen that evaporates in 24 hours. And sometimes on certain fabrics, it disappears even more quickly. So I'm very mindful of using it because I've marked up stuff and then checked to go back to work on a garment and the markings were gone. And that's a good thing when you want the markers to leave, but the markings to leave, but when you don't, that's kind of messed up because then you got to start all over again. So this is like a shadow in through here for his fist. And like I said before, I usually do fashion sketches. I don't do superhero pics. But this is cool. I have it up on my dress form, so that's helping a little. I wonder if my Taylor's chalk. This is Taylor's chalk, and Taylor's used this, and it has a little bit of a sharper edge. So let's see. Yeah, that might work better than the other chalk. And again, this is just to give me an idea of where I want to paint. So I was telling you about the women's event that we did. I met several vendors, and everybody had such unique things. It wasn't a whole lot of vendors, but it was enough, and we had a successful show. So I'm happy about that. and we sold the denim accessory that I had on stream, that I worked on stream. We actually sold that. So that was cool to be able to sell that. And the vendor that purchased it, she says she's gonna style it, and I asked her to send me a picture of her, the way she styles it. She says she's gonna style it with a denim jacket. What are you using the chalk for again? This is this is Taylor's chalk, and Taylor's use this. But what I'm doing is I'm trying to get my proportions correct because it looked a little off on the jacket. It just didn't look right. And so I'm just trying to make sure that before I do any more painting with the paint, I can chalk in certain areas that I want. So again, this is the hat, and if you look, you can kind of see what I'm working on. Did you hand draw this, dude? I heard you mention you don't typically draw anime characters. I used a stencil that I don't have, that I created, that I made to sort of get the shape of where I want it. Everything. I got to put my reference hat back over here so I could look at it. So I used a stencil that didn't come out that great. So essentially I just started painting after that because it wasn't coming out like I wanted it to. So yes and no. So I'm painting it. I feel like I'm doing a better job just sketching it out, which I should have just trusted myself and just sketched it out from the start. And no, I don't normally draw anime characters. My niece does, and she does a really nice job. I'm going to try to get her into one of the streams at some point. But right now, I'm just trying to get some of these lines that I'm going to paint. I'm trying to get them sketched in. So that already looks so much better for me, to me. And then out here, where you see this line here going out, I'm going to extend this this brown leg, the brown part of his leg. But I do like the Taylor's chalk better than the regular chalk because it has a cleaner edge to it. And then all of the lightning bolts. Gotcha. It's looking good so far. Can definitely see it coming together. Awesome. I got to get he has a certain look. Mine doesn't have that look yet. And I can't wait to get that look on him. His face is a little bit chubbier than how I made it. Let me see. So his face needs to come like that. I have the line, if you see, the line is there, but it needs to come down like that. In fact, there's a shadow that is coming up. But I do like the way he's coming out. Yeah, I think, how do you keep the paint from cracking? Is this special fabric paint? Yes, this is fabric paint. And I know that there's a medium that they sell that you can put in acrylic paint to make, because I've painted before with acrylic paint, and it softens the paint so that it's not hard. If you see, it's a little stiff, but it's not as stiff as if this was um, regular acrylic paint. So I am liking that. So the white lightning bolt light lines, I'll put that in the end. But some of these areas I'm gonna have to paint in green because I got a little overzealous with the arm, and so that just wasn't working for me. It just didn't look right. And sometimes it makes a difference to step away from what you're working on so that you can kind of see a little bit more. And I see, let's see, this needs to come down a bit. And maybe I should have had it on a dress form or easel or something to start with. Maybe that would have made it easier for me. But I do like having these lines because when I go to paint, now it's a little bit clearer to me because my stencil just was not working. It was not working. It was not working. So I can't wait to do the rest. This is just the painting part. I still have the fabric part because it's not, I'm going to do more to the jacket than just paint on it. So I'm excited about that part. And hopefully that part will go a little bit faster. But this is why artists charge for paintings and things because it takes some time to to paint. And of course people that do this all the time, they have their own technique that they're using. So see, this is going to be that line there that's coming around. This is green. The only reason why I'm marking this one out is because I'm going to go in and paint that part green. So that'll be that part there. And then this is that part down there. So I met a lot of, going back to the women's show, we were vendors and we met a lot of people and discovered that like I said, they were really into the pieces that we had designed. So that was nice when people actually see the vision, but they were having a hard time. So I went to this store and they were having a hard time visualizing what the accessory was. And so we went and we purchased some bodycon dresses. Of course, it was something that I could have made, but I needed it for right then. And so we purchased some just some straight knit dresses that we put with the accessory piece, and it made so much of a difference for people to be able to see. And sometimes I forget that people can't see what I see. And I have to remember that I always have to consider that not everybody visualizes things the way I visualize them. And so it took one of the attendees to say, "Oh, you guys need to put a dress on," as we had a dress. Don't get me wrong. I see that. Thank you, Reaper. Thank you. Thank you. Still here, just doing my workout really quick. I wish I could do a workout with you because I need to. Um, and right now is my pickleball time. I need to be doing my pickleball, but I needed to get some streams in. We are on the precipice of making affiliate, and so there's no way that I was not going to stream, and I will be streaming again this week. Hello there.
Hi.
Hi.
What you up to today?
We are streaming live. We are working on our anime character, and so that we could paint him.
Awesome.
Are you going to change the window? Are you? Did you come in to change our window display?
Oh, that was
Put.
the goal, but I needed some help taking her down.
She's not that heavy.
She's too heavy for me.
Any takers out there? Ella, I was gonna ask about pickleball. Yes, I would love to go play pickleball, but my stream was calling.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that I won't get to play pickleball. That does not mean I won't get to play pickleball. Oh, I'm excited. Let me show you. I bought some iron-on vinyl because, oh, that matches really nicely. Look, I am going to do the letters in vinyl to give it a little bit more dimension. And I might even do I think I'm going to do his artillery belt, the red part, in this vinyl as well. I think it looks really, really good. And it's going to give it a little bit more dimension. So that is the goal. That is the goal. His face looks so much better now. It really, really does. And then I've got to do his hair. Maybe I could use the tailor's chalk. To draw in his hair. I think I'm going to try to do like, I don't know if you guys remember, well, you probably don't, but years ago when I was little, and my dad would need a pencil sharpener, he would use a knife to sharpen the pencil. So what I'm doing, you can't really see. You see the edge is not really sharp. I'm trying to sharpen the edge. I'm using my seam ripper to sharpen the edge of the tailor's chalk. And I do know that they make a little sharpener, almost like an eyebrow pencil sharpener. Well, not like that. It's a flat sharpener that they use to sharpen the tailor's chalk on the end so that you have a sharp edge. So that's what I'm endeavoring to do right now, is to get a little bit sharper edge So I'm just, as they would say in the country, I'm just whittling the edge away. I think that was the term from like the Beverly Hillbillies. I'm whittling the edge away. I'll have to see if that's an actual word. I have no idea. Okay, so in through here, I'm gonna have a little bit of a shadow. You know, his utility belt, man, it needs to come down a bit. It needs to be about here.
I'll see you later. Call me when you're done.
All right, she's whispering. It's like nobody can hear her. Okay. She's leaving me to go play pickleball. That's what friends are for. In good times. In bad times. So she left me to go play pickleball. That's okay. So, yeah, that looks better. That's about where his belt is. Now, the funny thing is, she doesn't have a paddle. So, if there's no paddle for her at pickleball, guess who won't be playing pickleball? But they usually have extra paddles, so she should be able to play pickleball. Yeah, that looks so much better. His utility belt right there. So I'll fill this part in with the green paint. Let's see. Okay. So let me see. Okay. So that part will be his hand. And oh, I see. Oh, it looks like his utility belt has two pouches on both sides because this is red. I think his arm is trying to do something like that. Wow, it's really coming. How did you how did you get into painting and sewing? From a little girl. I was 5 years old when I started sewing, making doll clothes. That's why I'm going to do some dolls on stream. I'm going to do some, I think I'm going to do a cosplay outfit with a doll. When I have dolls that I purchased to create, because I did when the Black Panther came out, I actually did a doll like she was going to see the Yeah, cosplay. Ooh, cosplay dolls. Yes. Yes, honey. Yes. And so I actually bought my husband bought me some dolls to dress because people wanted. I designed this one doll like she was going to see the Black Panther, and everybody wanted that doll. And but it was my doll, and I was not selling it. So several people wanted it. So my husband purchased me some dolls so that I could create some Black Panther dolls. Actually, it wasn't the Black Panther, but she was going like she was going to see the Black Panther. And so I made her jewelry, and she had, did she have an afro? No, I braided her hair. I made some plaits for her hair. So it was really cute. Let's see. I think that's going to go there, and then that goes there. See, I can see this so much better now. I was concerned that he wasn't coming out so hot. But now that I'm putting in all of the lines, it's coming out so much better to me. And like I said, I'm going to use this for the red. I'm going to cut this out and heat press it. And in between, I might use some black vinyl in between there. But I think he's looking kind of cool. Or as you guys say, he's looking dope. He's looking dope. And he's going to look a whole lot better once he's done. And hopefully I have you up on my projector and the details look great. Oh, you'll have to do take a picture of it. That would be cool. That would be really, really cool. When I was younger, getting back to the sewing, I told you on stream one time about how I cut up my mom's her suit. I went in her closet and cut up her suit to fit me. But I didn't tell you about how I would just cut stuff up to it was a pastime of mine to just look for like I think I started thrifting before I knew what thrifting was about, but I would thrift in my relatives' drawers, in their closets. Like my grandmother, I could spend all day just rummaging through a den desk that she had, and that was fun for me. And so I think that was part of the creative process. And so I started creating clothes for myself, and that's what from there I went to a fashion junior, well, not, it wasn't a fashion junior high, it was just junior high, and I had home economics. And so in home economics I learned some sewing techniques, but I was already sewing as a little girl. I started sewing when I was 5 years old, like I said. And I started making myself clothes. I started making other people clothes. And, ooh, I like his hair. I hope that sticks. I don't want this to disappear. I do have a chalk pencil with a like a pencil tip, but it wasn't coming out. It just wasn't showing up. So this is working a whole lot better for me. It's not my preference, and I guess I could use a pencil since I'm gonna. Let me see. Let me grab this pencil and see if I could do part of this part with the pencil. Because all of this is going to be outlined in black anyway. So I really could use a marking pen, but I just don't like the idea that it's permanent. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but I just wanted some more definition in. Now this marking pen is working great, but again, I'm just scared that I'm gonna go back to painting and it's gonna be gone. The lines are gonna be gone. And then once I go in with the paint, the water from the paint is gonna make it disappear too. But these pens, if you're working on something where you could see, these pens are the best because you can take the markings off with just water. The blue one you have to wash, and the blue one definitely will keep coming back, especially if it's on white. You'll get rid of it with white. You'll get rid of it with water. Excuse me, and then you'll look, and the marking will be back again, and that is very frustrating, especially if it's a special occasion garment. So I don't recommend doing the blue with on any fabric that you really care about, or say like water that fabric that you can't use water on. So but he's got this mad scientist hairdo going on here, so I'm trying to capture the essence of him. And then when I go back in, I'll use a green to color this in. I think it's looking very close. Oops, that's going the wrong way. That needs to go up, not down, and this is around. This is around. And it makes a difference when you're drawing. If the lines are curved, then you need to make them curved to make it look like the garment is going around the person's arm, like that. That's one thing doing fashion sketches, that you make sure you draw your curves and things like that. So that part about him is easy for me because that's what I do with my fashion sketches. So I think he is looking pretty dope. Let me see. And the same thing for around his leg. This part is going around his leg. So this is the part, like using a marker is so nice because I can get that the shape that I'm looking for. To give it that look like it's going around his leg and not just straight lines. I almost wish the purple wasn't going to disappear because I've got to figure out a way to make sure I paint this before these lines disappear. That's why I'm trying to use the tailless chalk because that's not going to go anywhere until I tell it to go. So in through here is where, just to refresh your memory, that's how it's coming along. That's what it's looking like. And I am going to, instead of trying to paint that wording, I am going to cut it out with my silhouette. And if you see, that looks like it's a really, really nice color. I almost didn't buy it being cheap, but in any event, I think it looks great. The color is coming out nice. Remember, I made this color. Now I got to try to duplicate it again because I have no idea. Let's see, let me put my cap on. So, speaking of artists, I have an artist here in my in our unit. My studio is located with other little smaller units, and we have 3 artists in here, and each one does something different. Actually, if I include myself, we have 4 artists. We have a designer. Actually, we have 5 because Robert up front, Stein art, he does art, but he does this cool, um, like almost he upcycles stuff. Like he paints, he does photography, and then he creates these 3-dimensional pieces of art that are interactive. Like he puts a QR code on it, and you can see it moving. So it's pretty cool. But we all sometimes we'll do an event down here. I'm in historic downtown Melbourne, and sometimes we'll do events down here. We're trying to do a few more in this area. I want to draw in the lightning so much, so badly, but I'll wait. I keep saying that, and then I start drawing in the lightning. But I think I don't want to draw it in. I keep saying that, and I keep drawing. That's so funny. But I think that's all I'm gonna do. Um, I think I have my markings, and let's see. I can't wait to actually do his eyes and put the shadows and everything in. He's got big eyes. I think it's starting to look a whole lot better. So I will go um, in my studio or my sewing room at home, and then I will probably paint. I don't know, I might leave it and then stream and paint, but let me show you the fabric that I'm mixing with this, because actually, let me, before I do that, I'm looking at his hand. This hand looks kind of wonky. Okay, so that's the palm part. That's like a C. So last night I was working on, I am, for those of you who don't know, I am a certified family and consumer science teacher. That's what I taught in middle school for 7 years. I taught middle school and high school, and I'm still certified. And my renewal is coming up at the end of June, and I should have had my in service points. Every year you renew, you have to have a certain amount of points. I needed 120 points, and I had 7.5. And so last night I spent all night reading materials for a course that will give me 20 in service points. So this week I have to do some more courses because t- currently I have two in the works that are 20 in service points each. And then I have some continuing education in service units that I can apply towards my certification. And so that's what I'm working on. So that's why I didn't stream last night, because I was up till 2 in the morning working on those in service points. And so there's a lot that people think teaching is easy, but you have so many other things. I mean, just like other um, occupations where you have continuing education that you have to do. So, I mean, it's no different than that. I'm just saying that we have to do that in addition to um, our regular classroom stuff. I haven't been teaching full time because our district got rid of our fashion classes. I used to teach fashion and interior design in the fall, culinary arts and hospitality in the spring, and the seventh graders, I saw all of our seventh graders and I taught them career and technical education, all of the categories that fall under um, family and consumer science, like human services and agriculture, agriculture, and it was five different things that fell under family and consumer science. And so that's what I did for 7 years, but I'm still certified and I need to renew my license because I would like to keep it. So, again, that's why I didn't stream last night, because I was in the books, as they say. My head and brain was in the books, and I still have a follow up activity that I'm doing. Yeah, this is cool to see. I'm in and out, you know how it is with the toddler. Yes, I know. Tell Nyla to be good. Tell her to be good. So what I was getting ready to do is show you the fabric. I'm looking at the hat and looking at this, and I think his chest still looks a little puny in through here. So I think I'm going to when I paint, I'm gonna paint that. Yeah, that looks better to me because he's looking kind of sketchy. No pun intended. He's looking kind of sketchy. Let's see. But I do want his chest. Yeah, that's a little bit better. That looks better. And then that'll be that part of the utility belt that I'm going to cut out of the vinyl and heat press it. Once this is completely painted, then I'm going to hit it with the heat press so that it seals the paint in. And just FYI, I put plastic underneath my dress form because I thought I was going to do some painting on him, but I don't think I'm going to try to paint him today. Well, maybe tonight if I stream tonight, or definitely tomorrow I'll get back into painting. But what I want to show you is the fabric that goes with this. I think I showed it when I started, and I don't quite know what design I'm going to do, if I'm going to do this like up here. I know I wanted to do this, and that looks really good together. I bought this from Joann's before they went out of business. So I want to do something with the sleeves with that. That looks pretty cool. So I don't know if I'm going to cut the sleeves out and make new sleeves out of this. I really wanted some rib knit for the bottom because I have this too. So I don't know, maybe you can't see that. Maybe I'll do something like that down the back. That looks pretty cool. Ooh, I like that. So that's usually the design process. See, I think that might look kind of cool going down the back on both sides. I don't like it at the top per se, but I do like it going vertical down the back. And this isn't stretchy. Just so you know, this is not stretchy. So if it was stretchy, I would have loved to have changed the sleeves, or I might even put it on the sleeve at the bottom like that. I think that'll look pretty cool. And so I probably, again, I might cut the sleeves out and use the cuff part. This is the cuff. If you have some suggestions, let me know. But I think this is pretty cool. So I think I might cut the sleeve off and use the denim cuff at the bottom with this. I think that looks really good. But then again, I may not cut the sleeve out. I might cut them out, pin it, look at it on the dress form, and to see how I like it. Because the front of the jacket, this is the front of the jacket. So I may even do something like this in the front, but that's usually oh, you can't see. That's usually the design process. And then I was thinking about painting his face over here on the side. I'm not certain what else I'm gonna do to this little jacket, but definitely I might change the collar. I just don't know. And that's the thing about designing. It's a work in progress. So that's what it's going to be, but I wanted to show you this, and I found all of this and it just kind of came together. So I think that's going to work really nicely. I do like the corrections that I've made on him. I like the band around the sleeve. Look at the, let me drape the, let me see. I'm texting my neighbor. I have a package that I received for him today, and he's saying, the artist, he says, "Oh, thank you. I need them." I told the UPS guy, I'll take his package for him. And so I'm trying to let him know how long I'm going to be here and what, asking him what time is he going to get in today. So, but I kind of, if it was like me, I used to hate to miss my packages when I had shipments coming. And so that's why I was like, oh, let me just get it for them. So let me show you what I'm going to pin the sleeve. And let's see. So I may take the sleeve out, cut a new sleeve. I'm not certain. Let's see. How that would look. I think that might look pretty cool. Maybe I'll do one sleeve in this fabric and the other sleeve in the plaid. I don't know. So let me see. So that's what it would look like. I think that looks pretty cool. And then if you had the trim right here, let me turn it around a bit so you can see it on camera. So then if you had that there and on the sleeve, that's pretty cool. I like that. So I think I'm going to cut the sleeves, and then I'll put this on the band of the sleeve as well. See, that looks pretty cool. I like that. So I was saying that I could do one sleeve out of that and then use this for the, and I'll wash this because I did not check the end of the bolt to see if this was washable. So I'm going to shrink it, pre-shrink it before I use it to make sure that it's washable. Because so I'm thinking, well, I'll just do that so you can see. So I think one sleeve in this, one sleeve in that might be pretty cool on either side, and then do something in the front. That's the part about designing that you never know. You can sketch. Sometimes I'll sketch out a design and see which I might make a digital picture of this to see what it's going to look like and then make my decision. But I have no idea at this point. But I do like that sleeve. If that's the back, then I do like the sleeve out of this. Oh, yeah, we need to see some of your fashion sketches. Oh, of course, of course. I might even, like I said, see if I could scan this in and uh, come up with the design before I actually do it. Because I work both ways. I'll work from scratch, just playing around with the fabric, and then I'll also do a sketch and then make the design from the sketch. So I work both ways. When I'm working for a client, which I'm getting ready to do a design for a client, I usually sketch it out and let them approve the sketch so they at least know the direction that I'm looking. the direction that I'm thinking about going in, and this fabric is really nice. I don't know what else I could. I had to buy 2 yards of it, else I would not have bought all of this fabric for this project. But who knows? I may use it again to do something else. So that is going to be it, because the rest of this I need to paint. So I will be back tomorrow to paint on this, and in the meantime I may pop back in tonight. Well, I need to finish working on my certification stuff tonight. So thank you all for joining me, and I would like to raid somebody. I will, if I don't tomorrow, definitely I will. Thank you, Reaper. I will definitely start painting in tomorrow. If I don't do it tonight, I don't think I'm gonna work on this tonight, but I'm gonna take it home just in case it hits me and I want to stream tonight, because basically I may do the red part for the writing. Remember, for those of you who just joined us, I'm working on a denim jacket. I'm painting Deco. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And I bought red vinyl for the writing. I'm going to cut that out with my silhouette and then heat press it on. And so his utility belt over here, that part is going to be red. You can see his utility belt right here. That's going to be out of this red vinyl, and the writing here is going to be red vinyl. And then I may I have to look at the lettering. If you know Cute, can't wait to see what you come up with. Thank you. And I think I'm going to do like some graffiti writing. I think that's what I'll do up here. Maybe I'll see what my niece would want to put on it, and let her approve of the writing, or maybe even find out how to write her name, like the hat, write it in those letters. Maybe put My Hero Academia. That would be nice. That would be nice. Is there a wonder what font that is? I'll have to look it up, do some research, and see what font that is. But I think that's going to be cool. She'll get to wear the hat with the jacket. So I'm really excited about the lettering, and I'm going to do some more graffiti writing on it, possibly in the vinyl, in someplace else on the jacket. So again, I look forward to seeing you guys again, and I need to get out of here. So let's raid. Can't wait to see more painting. Me too. I can't wait to see more painting. And this is kind of fun. I'll have to show this lion that I painted. So who are we going to raid, Reaper? Let's see who we're going to raid. Thank you all for joining my stream. Hey, wait, don't go yet, Reaper. Come over, Ashley. This is Ashley.
Oh.
I'm gonna put him on stream. This is the artist next door to me. Say hey. and he does t-shirts, he does web design, and other things. Reba says hello.
Hi, she's got all my stuff. I'm going to make cool stuff now.
He's getting ready. Yeah, I should raid him and go take the iPad over so you can see him working.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you guys.
I'll pop in before I leave.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so anyway, I'm getting ready Oh, what's that noise? Yeah, I don't like creepy crawly things, and so when I start hearing little creepy crawly noises, it gets my attention. So let's see who we can raid.
Alright, now I'm done trolling. It wasn't really trolling, I was checking in. Cause these purses are gonna get done.
Ooh, somebody else crafting. Is that who we raided? Ready to raid? Yes. There's somebody working on purses. Is that who we're getting ready to raid? I'm ready to raid. I don't know who this is because it would be cool to raid her. Red Tastic creates. Can we do Red Tastic creates? And she's holding a raid train. Oh, starting Thursday, May the 22nd. Okay. Okay, so I may have to get on her raid train. So do you see her? Let's see. I am ready to raid, Reaper. Let's go. Okay, is there anything I need to do trying to raid? Let me know. Like I said, I'm new at this. Alrighty. Take care, everybody. See you later.